I saw
But
downtown Lansing, driving past some Section 8 apartments, and there's someone just doing this in front of the building. What was it, Grand Rapids? I saw a couple tripping together, broad daylight on Leonard. Like tripping over each other. High as shit.
tripping and tripping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry, one last thing before you finish. Around noon in downtown Lansing, I saw a homeless guy pissing on the Meyer sign.
Nice.
For the Meyer City Market. Yes. Classy.
Last time we went to Chicago, we were stuck in traffic right next to the fucking train. This fucking bitch squats right there on the fucking platform, just pissing away. I mean, literally right fucking next to us. It's like,
Hold
Christ.
on, lady.
Yeah, you were telling a story, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just... so, this guy that, he was checking on him, making sure he's okay. He's doing his fucking job.
Right.
Well, this guy fucking posts on What's Up Belding or whatever the fuck it is. And there's like 101 fucking bashing.
Comments.
The cop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's gonna be the same fucking people. It's the ones that fucking...
The neighborhood's going to
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
The cop ain't gonna
Where's
do that
the
ever
cops
again.
at? Where's the cops at?
Why don't the cops
I
do
took
anything about
screenshots.
drug
This is
problem?
why I don't fucking help
Yeah.
you.
Fucking assholes. Fucking
Got any crazy stories you could tell us?
Can tell us.
I mean,
Allowed to.
not really. I mean, there's not...
Is there's like, without telling names or anything, is what's the craziest thing you've seen in there? Nothing? Gotta be something.
Back when the birthday bash,
Yeah.
when we had that, had a couple guys come in for disorderly. They were 18, drunk, and they came in as, buddies. And the one was fine, but the second guy was just being a tool. So,
Drunk and disorderly or just disorderly?
drunk. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So,
The best kind.
yeah.
Finest guy.
So, searching them and stuff, and we got to take their shoes and all that shit. And so he takes his shoes and throws it fucking across the room. It's like, all right, you know how it's going to go.
Yeah, you see this playing out?
So I told him, I said, if you want your fucking shoes, you put them in the basket. Fuck you, you do it. All right. So it just continued back and forth like that. And finally, we get ready to go in. He throws his fucking hands up. Well, that's aggression to us. So we snatch a hold of him and face plant him in the glass. And the arresting officer's trying to open the door for me, and it wouldn't fucking open. So finally, I took him and swung him to the other side. Door opened fine. We get him inside and throw him in a cell. And a little while later, one of the other guys in the cell's pointing down. I was like, what the fuck? So I go and look, and there's blood everywhere. I look. That's literally, the blood is squirting out of the top of his foot. I ran that door over his foot. And, yeah, I mean, his whole pants, it was just solid blood, and there's a pool of blood like this. He was so fucking drunk, he didn't even know what was going on. He wouldn't go to the hospital. I offered him a towel. I'm still getting the fuck you and shit like that.
I'm going to tie a tourniquet around your foot and
Oh my God.
come back
I've
in a couple
never-
hours.
I find in cases like that, the tourniquet works best around the neck.
Yeah.
But, dude, I never saw so much fucking blood. We had a hanging just not that long ago. You probably heard that.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 2 of the newest officers we have responded. They did great. The guy died, but
That sucks.
if they want to do it, they're gonna fucking do it. Don't
True.
matter.
Whether that's there or
Because we have
one
to
way or
do
another.
during the
point.
day. You do your rounds are an hour between.
Yeah.
At night, they're 40 minutes. Dude, fuck
You
it.
can long past die. in
You
30
can
minutes.
fucking do a lot. Yeah.
True that.
You wait for the guard to walk past and, all right, let's get this going.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
There's
hold
got to
on.
be
What-
a mile of paper.
Was it a hanging or was it the old stroke and choke?
No, it was a hanging.
Okay.
Yep.
Just
Stroke and
checking.
choke like you?
Seen guys jump off the upper tier, trying to kill themselves, and just
Got that R. Kelly in their head. I believe I can fly.
bounce off the fucking day room table, and everybody looks at them and fucking laughs and keeps walking around them.
Dumbasses.
Yeah.
Huh.
We gotta kick it.
Yeah. Liberty Lead. Keep it local, keep it cash. Tell the feds kiss your ass. I'm Ty.
Move.
Trigger.
Duffy.
Duffy's here. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know the spiel. You've heard it a million times. Hot politics.
Oh, I got some politics here.
Well, first, let's start off with the Doge clock. What's the Doge clock
that's
at?
I don't know. Excuse me while I whip this out. Doge tracker.
Sorry, I seem to ask that every week, so I just
No,
want
we're-
to keep up on it.
$150 billion so far, so it hasn't jumped any.
All right,
45.
whatever. It was
Jump
137 last week, I thought.
I don't remember.
I guess I checked yesterday. It was one. Okay.
So they freaking saved another $13 billion.
Per taxpayer, 931,
So we're up
931.
$200 from the last time I remember.
Yep.
Per
Okay.
taxpayer.
I'll
Nice.
take some.
Keep going, man.
Good job, Trump. Good job, Elon.
Alright.
What do you got up here?
Yeah.
Trans rights or human rights on this lady's T-shirt?
What in the fuck? Why is this audio not working? Let me try and disconnect this.
Try over. Do it again.
Yeah. It's one of the downsides of disconnecting and reconnecting a bunch of times.
So maybe you could still
What
play
if
that.
Donald Trump was watching
sound
right
like
now? What would
video.
you say to him?
Trans rights. Fuck Trump. Fuck Elon.
Are you a part of the trans community or are you an ally? Pronouns are
They, she.
beautiful. When did you know that you were a they, she?
I first knew that I was some flavor of not cis almost 6 years ago now, June 2nd of 2019.
You remember the day?
Down to the minute, actually. 1:49 p.m. That's when I received a text from a friend of mine. Oh, it was all caused by a friend of mine texting me that coming out as bisexual.
Your friend helped you discover that, or was it
Yeah.
a feeling?
A friend of mine did that, and it chatted my years of repressing the feelings, and yeah. On my vest, I have embroidered "Be True" because that's what it is about. You know, that's what being trans is about to me.
You love the truth, right?
Yeah.
The reality.
And I'm living my reality. You know, we don't live in a single reality anymore.
What year did we start living in multiple realities?
2020, to be obvious, but like,
I would agree.
with what happened with January 6th and whatever, you know, and the anti-vaxxers.
Is that why you wear the mask is because of COVID?
Yeah, look, it's still out there. It's still harming people. Yeah, I don't want to get it.
You got like triple vax though, right?
I was running on my original 2 boosters at the time.
You should probably get another one just to be
No, I
safe.
got one back last December. Healthcare has been touch and go for me
Good.
because of how it's nasty. Because of like, you know, needles have been hard for me. Is also the
falling
reason
apart.
why I wasn't able to start HRT till semi-recently.
Do you think that we should have like demanded the vaccine for like everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. You
You
know.
also believe in my body, my choice, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
That vaccination made by Remington?
I wish.
I think he needs that booster.
Yeah,
I'm afraid of needle. You can, not trying to be negative, you can hear the autism.
Yep. I think maybe a little. Yeah.
Well, he remembers the day down to the minute that he got a text from a friend that was coming out as bi, and that's when he knew he wasn't straight. What the fuck?
So as you were saying, a Doge tracker,
Sorry.
American Patriot came out. Doge has stopped the annual $2.5 million payment to Barack Obama for royalties tied to Obamacare. So Obamacare,
He was getting royalties.
he's getting royalties off Obamacare. Yes, so since 2010,
Holy
Obama has received a total of $40 million in taxpayer funds from this payment. It's $40 million we'll never get back. That was from the American Patriot.
Wow.
Well, how many went to the Clinton Foundation? Because you know money was getting laundered that way.
I don't know the number, but I know it was a big one.
You want to talk about the trade war a little bit?
Sure.
Well, here's one of the things I came across. There are some decent things on
Duffy
TikTok.
doesn't watch a lot of news, so I don't know if he's up on this. There's a tariff/trade war going on.
Trump said, we're going to tariff the shit out of you. And then the EU said, well, we're going to tariff you back. And then a day later, we dropped our tariffs. We're bitches.
They did.
And then-
CCP, the Communist China Party.
Oh, China's still getting tariffed, but everybody else, like the EU, folded like a fucking newspaper.
Well, he commented when he first got here how the stock market was tanking. And I'm like, no, it came back 2 days ago. The biggest stock market jump in American history. Because all these tariffs, he's implementing tariffs across the board for everybody, trying to make it zero trade-off. Where if we're selling things to whatever Paraguay, we're paying extra. Those people are paying extra and making stuff expensive, so they can't afford the American products because it's getting tariffed to death across the board. But when Paraguay sends us stuff back, we're only charging maybe
less. We're charging less, if any. And it props them up, but kind of harms us on their market.
Right. So what Trump is actually, apparently, from what we can understand, he's trying to get back to zero or better for us, because America really is the industrial.
America is the world's largest consumer of everything.
And producer in most cases.
We're the technology leader, but then we pay China to make it.
We're definitely a technology and IT consumer. We're a big consumer of that shit. I mean, look at all the TVs around this fucking garage.
Now, this guy, I don't know what his credentials are. I don't know his background, so I just thought it was an interesting view on things.
I think he's intelligent. I can tell by his glasses.
You sure it's not all the gray?
Probably.
You trying to stroke your own ego? All right.
The trade war may be a trap, and it's not what you may think. What if the U.S.-China trade war isn't a war at all? What if the tariffs, the headlines, and the market panic are part of something much bigger? Right now, China has imposed a 34% tariff on U.S. goods. Trump, in response, is threatening 50%. The world sees conflict, but maybe it's coordinated. Think about it. For decades, the U.S. has been economically drained through unfair trade, global financial manipulation, and one-sided deals mostly influenced by European and British financial institutions. Now Trump comes back on the scene. But instead of launching a direct fight against those entrenched powers in London, Brussels, and Davos, he does something else. He creates chaos. He lets China play the aggressor on paper, triggering market panic. Meanwhile, European elites with billions invested across the U.S. and Chinese markets scramble to reposition their assets, and it's happening. And here's the move. As they shift funds, Trump and his allies watch. They track transactions, offshore plays, strategic exits. Every panic move, well, they log it. Then the trap closes. In April, the trade war resolves, markets rebound, but those who bet against the U.S., well, they lose. And Trump's allies, they buy up what the elites don't. Cheap. Suddenly, Trump holds the leverage. The real enemy isn't China. It's the global financial structure that's been siphoning American wealth for decades. And China, well, they get a weakened Western system, new markets, and a partner in reshaping global trade. Because maybe this isn't a fight between Trump and China. Maybe it's a collaboration, a double bluff, just to expose the old world order and reset the board. Now, I'm not saying this is actually what's happening, but if you step back far enough, you have to admit, it's sort of a smart way to play the game, isn't it?
The other thing I saw is Trump doing this is to get the markets to crash so he can see who in Congress is doing insider trading. Because they'd have inside information, and that's a surefire way to see what they're doing.
Adam Schiff the other day is all up in arms. That's insider trading because the stocks tanked because of what Trump was imposing all these tariffs. And then he says, okay, we're going to put a hold on all tariffs except for China for 90 days. That's when the market went, wow. So Adam Schiff's on TV going, we need to impeach him because he's got insider trading. Wait a minute, you guys have been doing it all this time all along.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Jackpot. So I really thought that was funny.
So
Adam Schiff came off as...
There's definitely a lot of nuance to it, and I'm definitely interested to see how it turns out. There's this other political adjacent one. Let me get the reconnected to the TV again. This is not quite
I've seen this one here.
This is pretty good.
Where he does it is more interesting.
2 days ago, General Motors Corporation announced that they were expanding vehicle production in the United States, in the state of Indiana, for the first time in about 25 years. Yesterday, the jobs report came out saying that 228,000 jobs were added to the U.S. economy, more than all economists had predicted, which was about half of that amount. Finally, someone is taking care of business. The U.S. government is reducing spending, and here we have in downtown Philadelphia, the people are protesting. They want less jobs, they want less production in American plants, and apparently they want more government spending. And that's the way the world is. See you next time.
We're all pretty right wing, so we see everything as aces at the moment. The people on the left are just, I think everything's going well. However, it's more about the hate they have for
it just seems like people
humans.
It just seems like people on the left can only, like, you have to be in lockstep or you're the enemy.
Yeah.
Whereas people on the right, what is it? I forgot who described it this way, but it rings true. As long as you can agree on about 60% of stuff, you can get along just fine with people on the right. I mean, you're going to have some difference. That's fine. And that's actually part of why the Republican Party as a whole is not as strong as the Democrats are. It's because they have their own squabbles between themselves, because they allow for a 40% difference. Whereas Democrats, you must be in lockstep. You must toe the party line. This is the party line. You either toe it or you're the enemy. You are the enemy, sorry. So, whereas the Republican Party typically has minor differences of opinions on some stuff, so they can't all agree on something. So they're not as strong as they could be, but I'd rather have it that way. You're not in lockstep. I don't want you to be in lockstep. I don't want a single party government. I want there to be some flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
Hitler was a one-system government. Not great. It was his way or the highway. By the way, I read a fun fact about Hitler the other day. I don't know if it's fun. He was a vegetarian, and towards the end of his life, he had a Thai-esque diet of mashed potatoes and clear broth.
And Doritos and liquor. They cut me open. I'm going to have Dorito dust and rum.
The diet at the end of his life was mashed potatoes and clear vegetable broth. It's all he...
I know he's got a birthday coming up only because it shares with Amy.
And the Stoners, weirdly.
Yep. Easter Bunny and Snoop Dogg and Hitler are all going to have one big day this year, 420. I know that's a big statement, but...
Where do we begin to break that one down?
That's a big one.
But yeah, I keep seeing political stuff.
So the other day, the reciprocal tariffs to China were 67% versus our 34%. There was a bunch of them. I should have took screenshots of all the countries to see which one was the biggest one. 90% for Vietnam. So if we sell products to Vietnam, it's 90% tariffed. And 46% back the other way. 88% for Sri Lanka. Whatever.
So he's pretty much just doubling it so we can get the tariff back and charge them a tariff.
We got to get back to good. The deficit, the fund deficit, the trade deficit, all of it, all the above. The only way we're going to get back to even or even bounce back a little, I don't care if we do it 200%. I don't think it's going to work out real well for us. But give us a little, put us a little bit in the black. I don't want to be...
So there's a theory out. I think I sent it to you, Ty. There's a theory out that part of what Trump's trying to do with tanking the markets was to adjust interest rates and bond rates so we could refinance our debt with China for less money. So when the markets bounce back, we owe less overall.
Which is smart.
Yeah, it's smart business. But again, he's not being upfront with his plan because that would kind of ruin things. So we kind of just have to sit and wait and see. But the left sees the markets go down a little bit and they immediately pounce and say, he's crashing it all. And then it bounces back and they say, oh, this is temporary.
It's funny that, like, the leftist media, CNN, CSNBC, will tell you, he's crashing the market, but when it bounces back, they're fucking hush.
Biden's economy is bouncing back.
Yeah, thank you.
How's it going?
Ryan?
Oh, man, I got something for you.
I was just
I'm not bending over, dude.
I ain't doing that shit again.
I fell for this once.
Oh, you'll be fine with this.
And I never even fell the thing.
This has got you written all over it.
Do short people always start their stories like, when I was little, or just say, as I am today?
When I was little. That was
I usually start my story when I was cool.
Ooh, that was a long time ago.
As I'm not today.
What are you doing Sunday?
Don't know.
We're talking politics. I'm sure you can...
Politics? Like ticks that get on you?
Bloodsuckers, politicians.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Sunday Duffy wants to go out shooting. I said, probably. Yeah, go out and... I got to do a couple rounds anyway. But we got to get moving some stuff.
I got that all flattened out.
Yeah, okay. Oh, perfect. We got to cut some trees down to get that canopy out and move it back. I got to climb up on that roof. I'm a little afraid to, though. See how it's attached.
We'll send the skinny guy. He'll never fall through. We'll put one of those. We'll get one of those little swimmy floats to go around him.
We're definitely going to need a box of beer for this.
And a camera, a really good one.
Get all the GoPros set up. Boom.
Get the drone out.
Do I need to get my new battery charged up?
Yeah. All right. What else? Oh, politics. Greg, what have you seen in politics?
What do you think about this tariff war?
Depends on who you ask. I mean,
I think
maybe we should have Richie up here defending his side. Then we'll just pounce on him.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Orange man bad.
I was going to say, he pretty much posted
He
that
said
last
grab a
week.
girl by the pussy, but I want... No, never mind. I'm not going
I don't
there.
like-
I'm not going.
I stopped following him because I couldn't take it
I
anymore.
don't like touching pussy.
Serious? God.
I've gone... they probably don't know the whole story, and I'm not going to say it, but there's so many times I want to just say, dude.
I see some stuff he posts, and I'm just like, whatever, man. And then sometimes I see it, and then I see a string of comments with your wife, and I'm like, never mind, it's already taken care of.
It's like, I can just sit back and crack a beer and watch this one.
Yeah. Put this on the big screen, will you?
But he's such a libtard. He spouts his mouth, and then once you ask him a question...
A legitimate...
And
Well,
he'll
it's not
either
about
go like that, or he just, all of a sudden, he just gets quiet. It's like, just, have your opinion, but if someone says something, have the balls to answer it. Because he knows at that point, he has nothing intelligent to say to defend what you're asking him.
Yeah.
Because his big thing was like, fucking gas prices don't bother me. They don't affect me. They don't affect me. And now all of a sudden, oh, they affect him.
Well, the stocks are tanking. I can't afford gas.
What?
Which is weird, because gas is down right now.
$60 a barrel.
Well, I meant something else. I can't afford something. I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. Tariffs are going to ruin the fucking world. That was when Trump first won. He's going to tariff us to death. No. All right. Another quick Doge
tariffs.
one in here.
You asked me. Well, concerned about tariffs. I mean,
stop buying from China.
I can't help it. I like TVs and DJI drones and
small
fucking,
women.
like
they're just a little bit bigger than his hand.
Like Kid Rock said. I don't like small cars or real big women, but somehow I always find myself in them. A quick Doge jab. I'm going to poke one or two in there. As an initial survey of unemployment insurance claims since 2020 revealed the following: 24,500 people over the age of 115 years old claimed $59 million in benefits.
Well, they can't afford it. They can't work at that age.
They're over 115 years old. 28,000 people between 1 and 5 years old claimed $254 million in benefits. Unemployment.
Between 1 and 5, huh?
This is how piss poor it's got. The whole government, and it doesn't matter. It was Trump's first run, but he wasn't looking for this shit the first round. Now he's looking for this shit.
He had a bad cabinet the first round.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He openly admits that.
Well, right now,
9,700 people.
He can't get reelected, so he's fucking balls to the walls and
no
swinging haymakers.
9,700 people with birth dates over 15 years into the future claimed $69 million in benefits. So that big number of $150 billion that Doge just saved us, these are some of the things that they're catching and going, that ain't, no, stop paying that. Stop sending that check. Don't send that check.
Is he the lefty that's at the program tonight to make this a... I'm just joking.
Yeah, we're handy, he's Combs.
I don't have cuffs. I don't have my cuffs. I don't have my gun. So
no, you can.
He's gonna cuff. I'm gonna cuff you. Take down some boys that really could use some.
They like.
Why you put my hands up like this? Oh, you'll find out in a minute.
Don't ask.
It's better you don't know.
Just take a deep breath.
Hot Tua. What do you got? Oh yeah, that's funny.
Trump is still saying he's going to cut taxes for everyone that makes less than, what was it, 150?
50, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think it's going to take...
I'm getting a tax break!
I think it's going to take some time, and there's certain people that anticipate it happening overnight. You have to be a realist and understand, yes.
Well, they have to cut enough
Egg
out of
prices.
the budget.
Oh, no. This is where I think the line needs to be drawn. Okay, if you're such a hardcore lefty and you're doing nothing but bashing people online, you don't get these tax breaks. You like paying these taxes because you're against the tax breaks. You're against the people that are bringing tax breaks and tax cuts and refund checks and things like that.
Let's have Richie on here.
You've already said you don't like it.
He won't.
Your taxes are going to go up while ours go down. I think there should be a program for that, right? Anyway,
actually,
I don't know what'll ever happen, but.
You know Nick Freitas?
Yeah, Freitas.
Whatever his name is.
He's super cool.
So I saw a video of him talking. He had a conversation with a lefty. I thought it was pretty interesting. So I got it.
We're flying out of Texas, so I'm thinking safe. Nope, I get the only liberal in Texas. And we get to talking, we're talking about different policy things, and we're talking about civil liberties, and we're talking about rights, and we're talking about responsibilities. And at one point I stopped her in the middle of the conversation. I said, you know, I find something really interesting about this. During the course of our conversation, we have both agreed on the problems. We're trying to address poverty, we're trying to address sickness, we're trying to address violence. We've even agreed on a lot of the end states. We want people to be happy, healthy, prosperous, and free. The difference is that you're a lot more comfortable with violence than I am. Dual PhD college professor was taken aback by that statement. In fact, the way she worded it was you're going to have to explain what you just said. And the first thing I said was, I don't mean any offense. I said, and I know it sounds kind of wild because you're a college professor and I was a Green Beret. I've actually been in a lot of situations where I was very comfortable with violence. You're just comfortable with it against innocent people and I'm not. And here's what I mean by that. You and I will both see a problem. The dam breaks in Louisiana and it floods and people are suffering. And I see that problem, I think to myself, as a Christian, as an American, as a human being, I have to do something. Let's donate resources, let's send money, let's go down, let's do what we can to go help the people that are suffering because we have an obligation to our fellow men and women to do that. And I ask you, maybe, would you like to come along? Would you like to donate? Would you like to do something? Maybe you want to write a check. Maybe you want to get on a plane and go down there. But no matter what you say, the option and the choice is yours. And if you choose to do something other than what I am asking for, you get to leave the conversation in peace. So now on the other side, you see a problem within society. And your automatic response is, we need a government program. We need government intervention. And so, Nick, we're going to raise your taxes, or we're going to regulate you, or we're going to set up a statute or a law. What happens if I say no? Do I get to live in peace? You will deprive me of liberty and property, and depending on how much I resist, you will deprive me of a lot more. You'll take away my kids, you'll take away my home. Not because I didn't want to help, but because I didn't want to help the same way you did. How do you square that with the belief that you're a tolerant person? And she looked at me and she said, I had never thought of it that way. She actually asked me for my card, and we had an email correspondence after that flight. Again, I didn't say anything brilliant. I'm ripping it off from people far smarter than me. But some of those powerful conversations that you will have start with not assuming that the other person has some sort of evil design. In many cases, they've just been convinced of something that isn't true. And one of the most important things that you can point out to some certain people is that they're the ones that have chosen coercion, aggression, and violence. Because if you don't do it the way they want to do it, they're going to punish you, and they're going to use the government to do so. So the argument that we're making in almost every single conversation we have with people on the left is not to say, we want the power to coerce you to do what we think you should do. We want you to be free to make your own decisions. What we ask for in return is that you be responsible for the consequences. Because liberty without responsibility is nothing more than licentiousness. And when you can start to chip away at that false notion that what they believe is rooted in kindness or tolerance or equity or charity or peacefulness, and point out that no, that's not what you actually believe. You're actually very, very comfortable with using violence if it means getting what you want. And maybe you should reevaluate that if it doesn't actually coincide with what you think you're trying to achieve.
Damn, that's well said.
Well, like, okay, you know the magician group Penn and Teller?
Mm-hmm.
Penn Jillette is a very staunch libertarian. He's always has been.
Okay.
His view is, think about government programs as, would you point a gun at somebody to get it done? Would you point a gun at somebody to build a library? Would you put a gun to his head to build a library? Because that's what you're doing with taxes. If he doesn't pay the taxes, a man with a gun shows up to take the taxes. Would you point a gun at someone's head to build roads?
I was already promised these roads were going to get fixed.
Yeah, your governor's not doing a very good job of that.
I feel like I've been lied to.
Well,
and now she wants more money.
All
to
the roads
find
are
out.
under
You've been
construction.
coerced.
Yeah.
Now Trump says she's doing a fantastic job.
I seen that. Actually, I commented on that tonight. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Probably wants to
He
see
has
her
no
titties.
idea.
There was a lot of comments on the one I saw of like, oh, I highly disagree with this one, Trump.
In the meantime, Moody would totally smash.
Well, don't tell me you wouldn't have a go at it. You see them fucking tits?
I'd let her numb. I'd let her numb me.
Oh.
I voted for her because she got bag boobies. I don't vote the best when I'm seeing titties.
So you didn't vote for her mind, huh?
As you say, we know Ty doesn't have the best decision-making skills,
Touche.
especially in women.
He's not arguing that fact.
I scored.
Oh, hold on a second. Before we stray too far off of that, Ty, are you seriously going to say no to this? You tell me you don't want to see them?
They look
Dude,
firm.
she looks like Lord Farquaad. I can't do it. No, I don't want to.
Dude, turn the lights off. Look at that.
You put a pillow over her
Look,
face.
Look.
Oh, I would probably put a pillow over that
Hey,
face, and I wouldn't
You
stop.
tell me that's not the view you kind of want to take a peek at?
I'm good.
You don't even know who it is in this picture.
You don't even know what's under that shirt, though, either.
There might be a guy. It could just be a man's ear.
It's not
She's had a few kids.
not Michelle Obama.
Michael Obama.
No, I don't think I could. I don't think I want to. Best news of the day: House has passed SAVE Act, which requires proof of citizenship in order to vote. That's I thought that was already passed a while back, but apparently it wasn't. So this is a major step in the right direction for election integrity, which I'm all for. Whoever, if Democrats win, fine, but they got to win legitimately. Mm-hmm. They didn't. But 208 Democrats voted against this, which tells you they want illegals voting. And that's the truth. I agree to that 100%. The Democrats want illegal votes.
Minors and those that are already dead.
Jackpot.
And the ones that aren't even citizens.
There we go. She's gonna get on the car thing. I think she wants in on it.
You guys, I also heard this thing out of Oakland, California.
Oh boy.
Nick Freetass, whatever his name is, was talking about it on a video I saw. Taggers, like if people put graffiti on your business, you have, I think it was like 10 days to clean it up or face up to $6,200 fine. But the taggers themselves, the fine for graffitiing a building is only $1,000.
Nice.
Seriously?
So if you rattle can someone's building
and you get caught,
and they have 10 days to remove it or they get fined because some dickhead spray painted the front of their business.
Drew a wiener on the front window.
Well, if you do that, it is Oakland. They might just leave it there and say it's part of the culture. But
if you drew a rainbow flag on the front of somebody's building, they'd probably pay you for it.
If you drew a swastika, they would just assume that the owner owns a Tesla.
Yeah.
Or George Floyd, it's a memorial.
Yeah.
Spray paint the words George Floyd on there, yeah, maybe.
Or just do a
BLM.
mural of George Floyd, whatever. And it's a
Spray
memorial.
paint BLM, and it's a peaceful protest.
Minnesota's still losing.
Well, only if you catch it on fire is it peaceful.
Oh, yeah.
you got to torch a car.
In line there.
At least loot 6 stores and at least burn 2 to make it peaceful. Other words, just marching with flags. That's
Domestic
not peaceful.
terrorism.
Colorado's governor, he's in the news. Not an assault weapons ban that restricts the sale of virtually all common semi-automatic firearms with detachable magazines and adds requirements for training and fees to many of them, for many to own them. It's completely unconstitutional. He knows it is, but he doesn't give a shit. And he's used the Colorado taxpayers' dollars to pass it.
I would have never thought Colorado would have been a lefty. Just
Apparently
because
it's pretty
With as much
deep
weed
left.
as they smoke, they're all fucking stoned out of their gourd.
well, that's why they vote Democrat, because they don't know who they're voting for.
Apparently, it's not the first time I've heard that. It's pretty deep blue.
Yeah, I always thought it was.
Right.
I'm thinking
It's
Colorado.
everyone
I'm thinking
knows,
ranchers and
Wyoming,
Yeah.
Colorado. Yep.
People
Thank
that
you.
work for a
I'm
living.
with you on that one. It took me by a surprise a while back when I did find out.
But they've been that way for a long time.
It's just like,
You know what? If they're that bad, take their guns away. Go ahead.
Hey, you guys don't want guns?
Colorado, Oregon, Washington, California.
Minnesota,
Illinois.
yeah, Wisconsin.
Which really surprises me too. Wisconsin.
Not me. Cheese and wine.
Wisconsin.
Holy why?
Good old Wisconsin, where the Kenosha kid is from. Oh wait, no, he lived in Illinois.
He was just up there visiting.
Yeah.
I went for a field trip and I got hit with a
Leftist can't stand not having slaves.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of truth to that.
There's a lot of truth to that.
$1,000 for a sleek, affordable, assembled overnight by 10,000 workers in China.
iPhone made in the USA is $30,000, built in a $30 billion factory using rare earth from a mountain we nuked by a guy named Chad, and I didn't download the rest of the meme. And then one of the comments is, leftists can't stand not having slaves.
Jesus, I mean,
it's right.
We've heard that before. There's a couple different versions.
Didn't the Democrats have slaves back
a
couple years ago?
Not necessarily. I think everybody had slaves back then, but the Republican Party is the ones that freed the slaves and
then fought for their rights. Even recently, when Trump started deporting illegals, the Democrats came out and said, well, who's going to pick our crops?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I swear Democrats said
I'm just
that
saying, Uncle Tom.
It's fun. You see these people like the street interviews going on. Some guy will come up and ask questions, but one of them's always, well, which party do you think freed the slaves? And they're always like, oh, the Democrats. No, the Republicans did. And they always go, no, it wasn't.
I like it when
my Democrat overlord said you're lying.
Yeah, no shit.
I like it when they'll ask them a question and go, "Why? I don't have all the answers right now." Well, then you're on your protest.
Well,
what answers don't you have?
Makes a really valid fucking point, and they're like, oh, "I can't take. I'm out of here."
I was just at Walmart and someone stuck this flag in my hand, and I had to go march.
I think it was Charlie Kirk was let the person choose the topic of discussion, and then asked him a question, and he's like, "Well, I don't know all the facts about this subject." You fucking chose it, dickhead.
Oh, it's like
what is a woman? He loves that one.
It's like that one lady that.
That's Matt
It was
Walsh.
another street interview.
I've heard of Charlie Kirk do it too, because on his college campus. Sorry,
that one lady that got this street interview that she's like, send Elon Musk back home.
To Africa?
To Africa?
No, send him back home. Yeah, to Africa.
To Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out of here.
I wasn't told how to
African
respond
lady.
to this.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
wow.
Hey,
Black
African American lady is what you meant to say.
I'm out of here. And
and he's a African American too.
Because he was born in Africa and was a.
What was it? There was one I saw. It was talking about white privilege, and it was a young black lady who was talking about white privilege, and I think it was Charlie Kirk said, "Okay, what can you do or what can I do that you can't do?"
And I get pulled up.
And she said, "Well, I can do whatever you can do if I put my mind to it." He said, "Okay, so there's no white privilege."
Right.
You don't have anything if you can't call racism or Nazism or whatever you want to.
Well, the left calls people racist because there's no retort to it. There's no way to disprove it. Well, I have a black friend. Well, that doesn't sound great either.
No. I'm not racist. I got a black buddy.
But then also black people say
I got
can't be racist.
I got a lot of them work for me. They're not slaves. Don't get me wrong.
She's got a good point. Say that again.
Black people always say, "Well, I can't be racist. I'm black." That just makes you racist.
Cool, you're bringing race into it for no reason.
Right. They do. They do it though.
I know.
And then I saw this video.
It's a problem.
Like, it's where they're just being really overly sensitive about stuff. Like, this guy excluded black people from his dating app, which he might just not be into black people. So then they called him racist.
What was the one? I saw someone talking about. Sorry, quick sidetrack. Saw someone talking about a dating app. It said, "Why is it that I can choose your skin color, but I can't choose weight? I don't care what color you are. I don't want to date a fucking whale."
Then you're gonna be called fatphobic.
Wow. You really take the spotlight off racism real fast in that one.
I don't give a shit what color you are, but if you're a fucking whale of a person, nah.
I'm not chunkin' Duncan.
I'm fat shaved and my blue hair.
And I got carpet that matches.
Go to the stylist. I need my pubes dyed blue so they can tell even from there, even on OnlyFans, I'm a piece of shit.
That's a good one. That one's just a quip.
We're getting canceled.
That's MOODY.
I don't think it's the worst thing I've said on here.
Really? That was pretty good.
Well, hold on. What was it? A couple months ago, I said the Timothy McVeigh bombings was not such a bad thing if there weren't kids in the building.
Okay, that was pretty bad.
Once again,
look, all I'm saying is, it's a federal building. There should not be a nursery in the basement or a daycare in the basement.
There was?
Yeah, unfortunately there was. If it weren't for the daycare, I'd be fully on board with what he did. Fuck the ATF. However, kids were involved. That's too far. Don't drag the kids into it. Like Marvin Heemeyer.
I was just gonna say, hey,
Marvin Heemeyer
whatever.
Didn't hurt. Nobody died with his rampage. He destroyed only the buildings of the people that wronged him.
Is that the guy with
Killdozer?
Killdozer, yeah.
And he went rampaging through a town at 3 miles an hour.
At really, really low speed.
Like, he attacked, what was it, like City hall or something, the town hall,
City Hall, the
had like a daycare inside of it. So he hit part of the building to give him time to evacuate all the kids before he hit the main part of it. Like he's 3 miles an hour. He's not going very fast. That being said, he really needs to look at city plans and know who has a basement. That's all I'm saying.
Reinforce the radiator.
Reinforce the radiator. Check who has a basement.
Yeah.
There's a couple things he did wrong. I'd love to critique him. However, he won't listen to critique right now.
I don't know. I think
he's not a very good listener this day and age.
I'm pretty sure he knew the outcome was going to be one way or the other, but he got...
No, he thought it was a message from God that, like, insurance... People kept coming in. They knew about...
Stick around. Oh, you're dumping shit?
They knew about what was going on. Like, an insurance adjuster came in to, like, check the property, saw what he was working on, was just like, whatever, he's just working on shit, and moved on with their day. So he took it as a message from God that, well, obviously he wants me to do this, because no one's stepping in.
Everybody's at the diner going, hey, have you seen Killdozer yet? It's fucking awesome.
I've never seen an up-armored Komatsu before. This thing is sweet. Hopefully he brings it out for a parade one day.
Everybody's called a passionate dozer. Did you see passionate dozer?
I hope he paints it. That metal look is just not great. He's a really good welder.
Yeah, I was going to say, the welds are fucking mint.
They're going to paint it like tomato.
Put Lightning McQueen eyes on it. Oh, God. All right, that took a left turn.
I was going to say, shit takes a... Like,
actually, technically, that's a right turn. Racism to domestic terrorism.
Jesus. Where are we at?
45.
What else we got? Move on or no?
Yeah, move on to something else.
We're going to go to the YouTube thing. If you haven't seen any of those exclusives.
Oh, yeah. You want to stick around for Marketplace 100 Airs?
Sure.
100 Airs.
What, none of us here are millionaires.
There's millionaires.
1,000 airs and there's 100 airs.
I ain't a millionaire.
So we have to guess like who's who or something?
No, I'm going to put up vehicles on Marketplace and we just guess how much it costs.
She really wanted to do the criminal thing again, but
we can do that too.
Okay.
Maybe, we'll skip that.
Wait, actually, I think G-Dubs has not played that game either.
Oh, all right.
Which one?
We'll do a little bit of both.
I played the one where you... what was the girl's
Love
crime?
Shotties?
Yeah.
This one's a little bit different.
Okay.
Sweet. It's right up there, though. Bianca, you better get a bar stool and get up there.
I can stand.
Hey, while you're standing, will you put that in that box and grab me?
Please. Don't dump that beer.
Yeah.
Here's those wish as well.
All the rest can go to hell.
Yeah, I'll put it up here.